Welcome to your favorite channel, where you'll learn everything you need to know to improve your health and lifestyle. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Explainer. We're always told to drink more water, right? 8 glasses a day. But what if I told you that chugging plain water can actually be a bad thing? Today, we're diving into a really surprising truth about hydration, a paradox that starts deep inside your body's cells. So let's just get right to it with the big question, the one that probably sounds a little crazy. Can drinking water, the very thing that's supposed to hydrate us, actually do the exact opposite?
Believe it or not, the answer is yes, it absolutely can. Now, to get our heads around how that's even possible, we need to zoom way in and look at how our bodies really use water. It's not just about volume, it's about a super delicate, microscopic balancing act that's happening inside you this very second.
Okay, first things first, let's look at the big picture. Your body is mostly water, sure, but it's not all just sloshing around in one big pool. It's actually carefully sorted into 2 main zones. And check this out, it's kind of wild, but about 2/3 of all the water in your body is locked inside your trillions of cells. That's what we call intracellular fluid. The other third, that's the extracellular fluid, the stuff that's outside the cells, like in your blood.
Now, this separation between inside and outside is absolutely critical, and water is constantly on the move between them through a process called osmosis. Think of it this way, water is a great equalizer. It always moves from a less concentrated, more watery area to a more concentrated, or saltier area, to try and even things out. So what's making one area saltier than another? What's telling the water where to go? Well, say hello to your electrolytes. These tiny, charged particles are the real MVPs, the true gatekeepers of hydration.
And when it comes to this whole balancing act, there are really 2 main characters in the story. You've got sodium, who's like the bouncer, hanging out in high concentrations outside the cell. And then you have potassium, who's the king of the castle, ruling from inside the cell. This huge difference in where they are creates this powerful tension that tells water exactly where it needs to be.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth does the body keep these 2 rivals separated? I mean, it's a really high-stakes game. Well, it doesn't happen by magic. Your cells have this incredible energy-burning engine working around the clock to maintain this balance.
This little biological machine is just amazing. It's called the sodium-potassium pump. It's constantly working. It grabs 3 sodium ions from the inside, uses a burst of energy, and then bam, kicks them outside. Then it snags 2 potassium ions from the outside and pulls them in. It does this over and over and over, and that's what maintains that crucial difference. And this finely tuned system, it's beautiful. It works perfectly, keeping ourselves healthy and happy. That is, until we come along and mess it all up by drinking way too much plain, mineral-free water. So this is what a happy, balanced cell looks like. You've got lots of sodium outside, lots of potassium inside. The pressure is perfect, water is just flowing in and out at an equal rate, everything is in harmony. But then, you chug a ton of plain water. All of a sudden, the fluid outside your cells gets super diluted. That sodium concentration just plummets. And remember osmosis? Water sees that the inside of the cell is now way more concentrated, so it just floods in. The poor cell literally swells up like a water balloon. This dangerous situation, this cellular waterlogging, has a name. It's called hyponatremia. And get this, it is the single most common electrolyte problem that doctors find in hospitals. And it's all caused by having too much water compared to the amount of sodium in your body. So, what's the big lesson here? What's the takeaway? The goal of hydration isn't just to drink more water. The real goal is to maintain that critical electrolyte balance that our cells desperately need to survive. And the good news is you don't need a bunch of fancy supplements. A balanced diet is your best friend. Most of us get plenty of sodium, but it's that potassium we really need to focus on. And you can get it from awesome everyday foods like spinach, potatoes, bananas, and avocados.
So here it is, the key point of this whole explainer. Especially after you exercise or sweat a lot on a hot day, remember, you're not just losing water, you are losing vital minerals. True hydration means replacing both, not just refilling the tank with plain water.
So the next time you reach for that water bottle, you might think a little differently about what true hydration really means. It's not just about volume, it's about giving your cells that perfect, balanced environment they need to thrive. Makes you think, right?
Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.
Here are some tips to help you have a healthy and strong body and mind. Remember that we upload videos every day.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that goes way beyond just living longer. We're diving into a total shift in focus, not just about adding more years to your life, but about adding more life to your years. More energy, more vitality, more health.
So let me just start with a question. What if you could live to be 100? It's a number we all hear, right? Kind of the gold standard for a long life, a milestone a lot of us think about. But here's the real kicker. What's the point of hitting 100 if the last 10, 20 years are spent feeling terrible? The goal isn't just about the number. It's about having a long, healthy, awesome life. And that's where we need to make a really important distinction. Okay, so let's break this down. On the left, you've got lifespan. Simple enough, right? That's just the total number of candles on your birthday cakes. But on the right, that's the real prize. That's your health span. Those are the years you're living in good health, feeling good, able to do the things you love, free from all that chronic stuff that can really drag you down. And our mission today is to show you how to make those two lines, lifespan and health span, look as similar as possible.
So how in the world do we build this amazing health span? Well, we've organized it all into 4 fundamental pillars. Think of this as the blueprint. We're going to cover how to move and eat, how to handle your inner world, the science of how your body renews itself, and finally, how to use your environment to your advantage.
All right, let's jump right into pillar number 1, move and eat for life. These are the 2 things we do every single day, and they are, without a doubt, the bedrock for everything else. You know, this quote from Dan Buettner, the guy who studied the blue zones, just completely turns our modern idea of exercise upside down. When he went to these parts of the world with the healthiest 100-year-olds, he didn't find them crushing it at the gym. He found something way more profound and a lot simpler. See, their secret is that their exercise isn't an event they schedule for an hour. It's just life. It's constant, natural movement that's baked into their entire day. They're out in the garden. They walk to their friend's house. They're kneading dough by hand. Their environment naturally nudges them to move all the time, keeping their metabolism fired up. So how can we bring that wisdom into our modern lives? Well, a great way to think about it is that you're training for the centenarian decathlon. I'm serious. You're training today for the physical tasks you want to be able to do when you're 95. And it really comes down to 4 key things. First, stability, so you don't fall. Second, strength. Your muscle is like a retirement account for your health. Third, aerobic efficiency. That's your all-day gas tank. And finally, peak fitness. That's your ability to go all out when you need to, like running for a bus. And you really don't have to become an elite athlete to see the benefits. Get this, just 75 minutes of brisk walking a week, that's a little over 10 minutes a day, is linked to an extra 1.8 years of life expectancy. It just goes to show you, consistency absolutely crushes intensity. Okay, so movement is half the equation for this first pillar. Let's talk about the other half, food. And once again, the blue zones show us a pattern that is shockingly simple and consistent. Just look at this plate. About 95% of what they eat comes from plants. Meat isn't the main event. It's a celebration food, something they eat maybe a handful of times a month. And what's so fascinating is how different these diets look, even though they follow the same principle. In Okinawa, it's tofu and green tea. In Sardinia, it's chickpeas and goat cheese. In Costa Rica, it's beans and squash. But you see the common thread, right? It's all real, whole foods. And pretty much all of them are built on a foundation of beans and legumes.
Okay, moving on to our second pillar. Because your physical health is so deeply tied to your mental, emotional, and social health, this is all about mastering that inner landscape. What's going on in your head and in your heart?
In Okinawa, they have this beautiful word for it, ikigai. It literally translates to a reason to get up in the morning. It's your purpose. It's that magical spot where what you love, what you're good at, and what the world actually needs all come together. And this is not just some feel-good concept. It's a powerful biological driver. And the impact is just staggering. Studies have shown that people with a strong sense of purpose live, on average, 7 years longer. Think about that for a second. 7 extra years of life, just from having a clear reason to wake up. Your mindset can be as potent as any pill you could take. And here's another thing. Health is a team sport. The people in these blue zones are woven into these really tight-knit social fabrics. They have the right tribe, friends that actually encourage healthy habits. They put their families first, and they have a deep sense of belonging.
This is just incredible. Research shows that being part of a community can add anywhere from 4 to 14 years to your life. 14!
Now, these people don't live in some stress-free paradise. They deal with the same stuff we do. The critical difference is they have daily, automatic rituals to shed that stress. A nap, happy hour with friends, prayer, these little routines act as a shield against the chronic inflammation that stress causes, which is a key driver of aging. Now it's time for Pillar 3. Here, we're going to peek behind the curtain at the incredible, invisible work your body does every single night. This is the science of renewal, and this is where so much of the magic really happens.
You know, we tend to think of sleep as just turning off for the night, but that could not be more wrong. Sleep isn't passive rest. It is active, essential work. You can think of it like this. As soon as you fall asleep, your brain's dedicated cleaning crew clocks in for their shift.
And a major part of that cleanup job is done by the glymphatic system. Imagine a power washer for your brain that only turns on when you're in deep sleep. It flushes out all the metabolic junk that builds up while you're awake, including those toxic proteins linked to diseases like Alzheimer's. So when you skimp on sleep, you're literally letting the trash pile up in your head.
And this is where it all connects back to Pillar 2. Chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, which damages your cells. It also speeds up the shortening of your telomeres. Those are the little protective caps on the ends of your DNA. The shorter they get, the faster you age. But, and this is the amazing part, practices like meditation can boost an enzyme called telomerase, which is like a repair crew for those very same caps, helping to slow aging at the cellular level.
Okay, on to our final pillar. And this one's a bit counterintuitive, but it's super powerful. We're going to talk about how not all stress is bad. In fact, we can strategically use short bursts of stress to make our bodies stronger and more resilient from the inside out. The scientific name for this is hormesis. It's basically the "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger" principle. By exposing your body to a little bit of a manageable stressor, you trigger this huge cascade of protective responses that actually leave your cells healthier and tougher than they were before.
And here are two of the most accessible ways to do this: heat and cold. Regular sauna use has been shown to reduce your risk of dying from any cause by a whopping 40%. It does this by activating these things called heat shock proteins that go around repairing your cells. On the other end of the thermometer, cold exposure, like a cold plunge or even just a cold shower, can fire up your metabolism and is one of the most powerful ways to reduce inflammation.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the science is crystal clear. Your genes are not your destiny. They account for maybe 20% of your longevity. The other 80%, that's up to you. It's your lifestyle, your choices, your environment. Your biology isn't a fixed set of instructions. It's a dynamic conversation that you get to have every single day. So the real question is, what small choice are you going to make today to start changing that conversation?
If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can bring you better content. See you tomorrow with a new video.